going to let us down once again. Sorry about that. Let's jump into our first topic. What is going on? Welcome back to the Rougpod. It's your man Hendo here with my co-host Rodney. Ravens flock. Hit me 2 times. Oh, no, I'm not gonna start that again. I'm sorry. What's going on, B?
What's going on? Special guest, not co-host. All right, guest. Then you don't think I'm special? That's all right. But definitely not co-host.
So what you're telling me is I can't do you like Suge did you? Like he just had you on just so much that he just said, you know what, you're here now.
I'm not on here every week, so
that says something.
What does it say?
Says you have favorites.
No, I don't think that's what that says at all. Yeah, I know someone here who has favorites though. Someone who's no longer on the Steel Conspiracy every week.
Who is that? Oh,
you know
man.
That's you, sir.
Name?
That's you.
Colin.
Colin was only on there like once.
He's only more than once.
You know why?
Why?
Because you're toxic.
What? I wasn't on the show, so how did I do anything?
You were part of the toxic chat. You were the main part of the toxic chat, if I'm being honest. Mm-hmm. So,
I appreciate this.
Curtis?
Who's that? All right.
Curtis.
Enough eating. Why am I hearing stuff in my ear?
What are you hearing in your ear?
I don't know. It's like a McDonald's commercial or something. I don't know where the heck that was coming from. Anywho, let's see who we got up in here with us tonight. We're going to try to make this a quick show tonight. We got some things going on. I think tonight, if I'm not mistaken, open mic with OTL Mike is back.
I don't know about all that. I don't think that anybody said that.
But
you know,
was that not what you told me?
I mean, there's things that maybe I said to you that weren't for public consumption.
Oh my bad! I thought it was going to be alive. I'm sorry.
I mean,
that's what I thought. I thought we was.
I asked if you were available because they were, maybe gonna do that, and then
listen,
you went all announcement on it. So
listen, everybody, time travel rewind. Let me Dr. Strange it and open it up and take it back a little bit.
Wow.
Anything I just said. All right, let's see who we got in here. We got my man Jose from Lunch Break Hot Take.
Incredible.
The nice one. He said first, Matt D's in the house. He said second, Jared Green. What's going on? Appreciate you dropping by. Listen, if you like Southern sports, make sure you check out Jared Green's channel. Really, really dope content. MDT Sports is in the house. What's going on? Yeah, Jose's not with us today, but he will be soon in the future. We got Brandon Buck in the house. Listen, yes, the winners, both teams, the Panthers and the Ravens actually won today, Brandon. And, I think you handled yourself really well when Arizona went up. You didn't get too carried away because we knew. But I said I wasn't going to bother you, so we'll leave it at that. We got Danity in the house. What's going on? 6-2. Yes, indeed. My co-host, my man, my Mello. Get on the mic because you know we yellow. Dre, he said, what's going on? Not much. Sunday night, got some football to watch. It's just a weird year this year. Like just the losses, just the offensive production, a lot of things. And yes, Danity, Panthers won today.
That's right, Danity. First of 3 straight.
Hopefully so. Curtis heard what is going on. Appreciate you for dropping by the channel. Who else we got in here? I figured that. I figured he was still on the road. You're a dedicated man, sir, and I salute you. What's going on, my baby girl, Jasmine? First love of my life. Appreciate you for having through. First, Muthana, hello, everyone. First, my brother, I'm going to buy you a cheesecake. I'm going to buy you something. Because in the modern day NFL, I don't know how a team passes for -9 yards in a full 5-quarter game.
He came here to get away from that.
Oh, my bad. I apologize, sir. Yes, indeed. I was going to bring that up. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate that. Yes, City, the City Pilot game. I wasn't able to go, but yes, City put it on them 44-6. I had listen, I wasn't going to leave my school out there, especially beating our hated rivals. I don't know if your high school had a hated rival B, but City Pilot game is kind of like Ravens Steelers.
Yeah, I don't care about high school sports, but whatever. I'm sure they had a rival somewhere.
Right. Baltimore City College Knights. Let's go. Pilot can't mess with us. Them nerds can't mess with us. But I digress. Jerry Bears, what's going on? Appreciate you for dropping by. Listen, let's get into this game. He said we look like a pack of mud today. I don't know what everyone was expecting. I know everybody thought that yes, we had the lowly 1-6 Arizona Cardinals coming. We were going over. Okay, that's how we start. That's how we start this off. Yes. Appreciate you. We got a 420 tip from Brandon Buck. He said I didn't gloat when the Cards got up because I didn't want them to go to win. Laugh out loud. Also knew Dowds would be his true self. He. I mean, we all knew that. But appreciate the donation. And if you want to support the channel just like Brandon Buck does, there is a pin link in the comment section. All of your donations go back to the channel. We give back to you all. We use that money to actually make things better, upgrades, just gifts, everything. You know, we try to get Brodney some tech toys. So if you want to,
we're falling real short of that goal right now. I mean, y'all gotta dig deep. Y'all gotta dig deep. All right, yeah, it's about to be November. We need that 3,500 by the beginning of January.
we need the 3D. We need that. What is it? The virtual reality glasses. We are fault. Listen, you said they're 3,500.
Yeah.
We are well short of our goal.
And then listen, y'all get us to 3,500. I'll handle tax. I'll handle the tax. All right. But we need your help.
We need your help. Yes, we do. We need those glasses to test them out so we can let y'all know how they work, how they are, if it's worth spending $3,500 on. We need your help.
How, pray tell, could we ever bring back old man gamers if we don't have the gaming hardware?
Facts. All right, let's get back to this game. Y'all donate. Y'all support the show however you feel necessary. You do not have to donate, but if you do donate, make sure that you leave a comment so we can highlight it on the screen. And also that money goes to your loyalty points where you can win a special prize. We still have the grand prize for this year. Don't know what month it's going to be. Well, you guys don't know. I know when it is. So make sure you get your loyalty points out. But
narrowing it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to that point. But listen, you do not have to donate to get loyalty points. You can also just come in, hang out with us, comment, subscribe. Those things will get you loyalty points. If you sign up to become a patron, that gets you 5,000 loyalty points. If you sign up to the LBHT newsletter, that gets you 1,000 points. And now how much we giving out for the sign up to your newsletter?
Yes, sir.
A G. Yes, indeed. Also, throughout the week, if you submit questions to be answered on air, you will get 500 points for that as well. Any other ways to get loyalty points?
Listen, we need 3,500 by January 1st, and if you come through on the 3,500, you can name your price in loyalty points.
Okay. All right. So back to the game. I'm sorry. Back to the game. Yes. Like I said, we won, but it doesn't really feel like a win. I know a lot of people were expecting us to come out and just blow Arizona out, especially because of what happened last week. We looked like a complete team last week. All cylinders were clicking on offense and defense. We finally got what we thought was the Todd Monken offense and Lamar running it. But what happens is people don't realize Arizona plays hard. Even though they're not a good team, they play extremely hard. They play together. When I went to put the thumbnail together for this video, for this live stream earlier this morning, I was like, I need 3 people to put on Arizona's side of the ball. I was like, I know I'm going to do Hollywood. That's my guy. You know, he's arguably their best player. Arguably. One of two. Second one is Buda Baker, who probably is their best player. Buda Baker is their best player, B. And the third one, I'm like, listen, I know Kelvin Beacham's pretty good. I'm not going to put an offensive lineman on there. Paris Johnson that they drafted, he's decent. I really don't have a third person to put on the side of the ball. His name is Joshua Dobbs.
I mean,
it is. So I'm like, man, what do I do? So I just put Zaven Collins on there. So looking at that, I said, you know what? This should be a pretty easy game for us. They have 1 star, 1 decent player, and an up-and-coming younger player. So just collectively as a team, the way that we dominate on defense and the way that we're coming together on offense, yes, Beacham, Buck, the way we're coming together on offense, I thought that this game should be a lot simpler than it actually turned out to be. But then I remembered that the head coach is John Harbaugh, and nothing is simple with John Harbaugh. Nothing at all.
And then you remembered you have 1 star, one decent player and one up and coming. But no, this is what I expected this game to be. Like it was never in doubt. The Cardinals never really had a chance to win the game, but it was closer than it looked like it should have been. Because, like you said, they're a team that plays tough. And man, listen, shout out to them. Credit to every single one of those 53 guys who go out there and play for the Cardinals, because I heard that pregame speech from their new coach, and I don't know how that inspired anybody. But they go out there and they play hard every single week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody thought that they were going to get blown out by the Cowboys, who decimated the Rams today.
Sure did.
I'm surprised we're not seeing Warbone pop back up and have a few words to say.
He knows he can't come back.
Thanks. So I thought that they would be competitive, which it kind of sort of was. And I think the difference in this game and the thing that may get overlooked is if Joshua Dobbs doesn't turn the ball over 2 times in Ravens territory, we might be talking a different game. And I don't mean like regular turnovers. Those throws were bad.
Well, but that is the thing, though, right? Like we can say that about any game if this didn't happen, if that happened, whatever. But if he doesn't throw terrible interceptions like that, he's not Josh Dobbs. So, it's not like it was out of character. That's how he throws the ball.
Yeah. So this was the first time in this season, in the first 8 games, that the Ravens did not score first. They allowed the Cardinals to go down the field and score first. Then they went down and scored, and then that's when the buffoonery kind of began with the offense and the defense. Listen. I know Lamar did not have his greatest performance. He was serviceable. I know that the critics are going to come back and say, see, this is why we didn't vote your man top 10 in the NFL, because of performances like this. And I will say this, and not all to be set on Lamar. This is how the Baltimore Ravens perform. They're high one week and then they're low the next. Like we cannot get a consistent performance out of this team. So this is my question to you, Rodney, and to everyone in the chat.
Yes.
Okay.
Do
the fans need more convincing? Now, I know last week I listened. I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to lie. I drunk the purple Kool-Aid. After seeing how that offense worked, I honestly got hyped. I said, yo, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Can't nobody stop this offense. We gonna something snapped in my mind, and I really and truly believe that we were gonna win the Super Bowl. This offense had finally turned that corner, and things were gonna be different. But then I forgot who the leader of this team was, and realized we don't stay consistent. So does this team have to do more to make you a believer that we are in contention, or one of those 3 teams possibly that can vie for a Super Bowl from the AFC side?
No, I think they're in contention. They need to do more to. Now, look, I picked them to win the Super Bowl prior to the season. They need to do more to convince me that I was right about that. Like, I'm not changing my pick, but they need to go out. There's still talk about Derrick Henry being on the move. Rougpod said they're not shopping him anymore, but they are listening to offers. They do need to go out and get another wide receiver, I think, because it's Rashad Bateman just has not shown up. Odell, he's not producing a ton in terms of his numbers, but he drew 3 penalties today. But even still, you would want more from Odell as well. So they do need to get another guy on that offense who can make plays for them. And honestly, I would say go ahead and get a running back and a receiver. But look, teams have these kind of games. We're talking about, Lamar didn't play all that well. Okay, I mean, Pat Mahomes had 240 yards, 2 interceptions, and a fumble, and they got beat by 15, right? Lamar didn't have a great day today, and they won. They scored over 30, and they won the game. And Denver is just as bad as the Cardinals. Records be damned. But it's just that's the thing that happens in the NFL. It's not a big deal. Lamar, I'm not gonna say he was amazing today, but he wasn't bad. He went out there, he did what he needed to do. Osmond makes a good point here. The O-line, I was happy. I was happy for him the last couple of weeks. It was coming together. They were playing well, and then they didn't come to the game today. They were not particularly good. So, but I don't think that there's really anything they can do at this point to shore up the O-line in terms of bringing in new players. They just had to they got to get back to work and just keep grinding at it. But outside of that, the defense is playing very well. And I think if they can get another guy who can be a playmaker, because you cannot rely on Zay Flowers to be your main guy on offense. You cannot do that. That's not I mean, he's not there yet, and it's unfair to put a rookie in that position anyway. So I think that if they can go out and get, whether it's just Derrick Henry or whether they can get another receiver, whether they can do both, I think that'll go a long way towards their eventual run towards a Super Bowl.
Indeed, indeed. All right, we got another tip in here. Shout out to my man Ferris Mutana. $10 tip. He says, "What are your thoughts on Odell's outburst video going around social media?" I haven't seen it. Are you talking about the outburst that he had during the game, or an outburst that is pertaining to something else?
I think he's talking about him slamming his helmet down after the pass interference.
Oh, well, I mean, listen, I don't have a problem with it. He's frustrated. He wants to score. He wants to do more for this team. He knows that he has a bullseye on his back because he's guaranteed $15 million this year. And everybody looked to him to kind of bring up Lamar in his passing game. And so far, he's done nothing. And there's another receiver that we're going to talk about a little bit later on that we possibly should have got, I'm saying, along with, instead of, in spite of him. But yeah, it's just frustration. I mean, every game Odell goes out there, he gets hurt more than he makes catches.
Are you talking about that mediocre receiver who was brought to life by Will Levis today? Is that who you're talking about? Because I heard that man's name until Mayonnaise stepped on the field.
Wow. First of all, I've said his name many a time before Mayonnaise stepped on the field.
Okay.
And even when we played them 2 weeks ago, he had more receiving yards than anybody on our team without a quarterback.
Okay, fair enough.
So
maybe they can just do a whole package deal and get Henry and Hopkins.
Oh man, I was gonna get to there.
My
yes, bad. No, it's okay. Because listen, I don't know if we should move on from this, but you seem to want to move on from this. So let's bring up the next question. Do the Ravens need to make a trade before the deadline? In your opinion, Brady?
I mean, I don't know why you said it like that. Who wants to continue talking about an Arizona Cardinals game? Yes, the Ravens do need to make a trade before the deadline. But I've been very clear about that. I think that they should make a couple of trades before the deadline. I don't think that they're going to. Right. But I think that they need to make a trade for a running back. Yes, even though Gus had 3 touchdowns today. They still need to go out and get a running back, and I think that they also would benefit from getting a wide receiver as well.
Okay. Well, this was supposed to have been a stream last night, so I had all of these things made up, and we're gonna go through a few of the trade options that the Ravens could get. Now I know that the Tennessee Titans said that, hey, Derrick Henry, you're not going anywhere, so hey, we're going to keep you around. We're not going to trade you to anybody. I know that's not an option, but we know as well as anybody if the price is right, everybody's kind of up for trade, correct?
Yeah, Ian Rappaport said that what they meant was they're not shopping him anymore. And I think it was just a little bit of public posturing to try and get a better offer, which will not work with the Baltimore Ravens because you got to fight tooth and nail to get the wallet open. You're not going to get anything more out of it, right? Right. But even if it's not Derrick Henry, because I don't think that they will outbid anyone to get a deal done. There are other guys potentially available who they could make calls on.
True, and earlier in the week, they said it pretty much was a done deal that the Ravens were going to trade for Derrick Henry. But the Ravens were kind of standing pat a little bit because they wanted a little more explosive, a little more versatile running back, which meant to me, hey, we'll keep him on the back burner. But if we can find somebody that kind of fits our scheme, I know that I don't know if it was Coach or somebody else that mentioned Alvin Kamara, an Alvin Kamara type back that can run and also catch passes out of the backfield. So I don't know if they were kind of thinking on that. So that got me thinking, who could be used that can catch passes out the backfield and run the ball. Maybe we should make a trade for Dalvin Cook. Listen, with the New York Jets, they're not utilizing him at all. And I think he would be a perfect fit here. We should have signed him in the offseason, but hey, it's just me.
I think I was on that signed Dalvin Cook train as well. He's not the player that he used to be,
True.
but I think he can be had for next to nothing from the Jets. Another report from Ian Rappaport was that, I think it may have been Glazer, but that nobody's actually calling on Dalvin Cook. They've gotten calls on Michael Carter, but nobody's actually trying to trade for Dalvin Cook. So they could get him for absolutely nothing, I think. To the point that people are making in the chat, when you're proactive, you have better, you have the potential for better outcomes, right? Because you said Alvin Kamara. There's a guy who's similar to Alvin Kamara, but much better, who got traded last year, Christian McCaffrey, who scores a touchdown every single time he puts his uniform on.
NFL record 17th game.
They could have been in on that, but it was, hey, you got JK. Hey, we got Gus the Bus. We're good. So,
yeah,
being proactive and aggressive is better than waiting until whatever, waiting until the issue blows up and you have to do something.
Facts. There are many options. I don't know if there are many options, but there are a lot of options out there when it comes to the running back situation. And one that is pretty darn special, but he does have an injury history, and a lot of people are kind of high on. And today he showed me a little bit of something, especially speaking with the aforementioned New York Giants, that they had -9 yards passing, but Saquon Barkley had over 120 yards rushing. How do you get 120 yards rushing when a team knows that you cannot pass? That means you are a special talent, regardless of the offensive line, regardless of the scheme, regardless of the quarterback. That is someone that can get it done. But they think that Saquon has a little bit too much of an injury history for him to come over to the Ravens. Listen, use him as you can. Use him as you must. Like, he makes this team a better team. How do you feel about this, B?
I think that would be a home run for Baltimore to get a player like that. And I think that I think there's absolutely no way that they pay for a player like that. Okay. So,
Okay. Another tip. Shout out to my man Ferris for the $20. He says, hey guys, what do y'all think of Tennessee trying to cash in on the Houston pass, even though they left Houston on sour accounts and scorched their relationship with the community? Do y'all think when you move to a new city, you should start your history at zero or no? You want to start this one off, B?
Well, look. I think that they're a team. When a team leaves, that community is always going to feel a certain kind of way about it, right? They're not going to be happy. I think that if you're the Tennessee Titans, you don't live in Houston, so who gives a fuck what they feel? All right, put your uniforms on and go out there and play. Look good, feel good, play good, right? Because they look way better than their Titans uniforms. I think they should adopt that full time. And to Davon, who's just saying that Gus had 3 touchdowns today, that brings him to 5 for the season. So, let's calm down on scoring 3 touchdowns on the Arizona Cardinals. But no, I mean, look, I don't think it should start at 0. You know why it shouldn't start at 0? Because when you start at 0, then you have ridiculous things like Baltimore Ravens fans saying how, we've only been a team for 25 years or 26 or whatever, however many years it was, when you've been a franchise much, much longer than that. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. You are the team still. And if Houston gets another team, that team, I mean, they have another team, but they get a real one. Right. They get a real one. They start from 0 then, right? Because it's a new franchise. Same thing with the Sonics in the NBA. When they give them their team back and they're the Seattle Sonics, they start from 0 because that team plays in Oklahoma City now. They're not you.
Right. Unless you're the Cleveland Browns and they give you your history back.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. So for me, listen, if I see it 2 ways. If I'm an owner of a franchise and I move my franchise because, let's say, you didn't want to give me a new stadium, you didn't want to help with renovations or anything, I had to do what I had to do, and I had to move my team. So the history and everything that comes with it goes with the team. Now, the kind of brand that I put out for the team that I have isn't selling well. And if I can go to the throwbacks and make myself some money, of course I'm going to do it. But as a fan and a player and just a patron of that city, I don't like it at all, especially coming from Baltimore, because the Baltimore Colts were able to leave here, go to Indianapolis, and take our history with them. But yet and still, we took over the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns got to keep their history. So we got.
Don't nobody care about Baltimore. Nobody care about that city.
Words have meaning, sir. Words have meaning. But yeah, so first, yes, like I see it both ways. But listen, if the fans are going to buy it, they're going to sell it. Like, you should be petitioning the fans and say, you know what, you live in Houston, not Tennessee.
Yeah.
Why are you buying this?
And see how many Titans fans care about your feelings.
None whatsoever.
Exactly.
What's going on, Agnes? Agnes says, how could they go from playing so well last week to playing this week? Perplexing. It is not perplexing, because this is something that has gone on since John Harbaugh's been the head coach. We just don't come prepared to some games. Some games we're overly prepared. Some games are underprepared. It's just, I think we may have taken this team for granted and not realized how scrappy they were. In the NFL, you have issues of matchup problems, not talent problems. Some teams just don't have the talent, but they match up to teams very well. Most teams match up to the Ravens because we don't come in prepared. We put everything on Lamar Jackson and hope that he can do everything that he can to win us a game. Now, when the offensive line isn't working, things get a little bit sketchy. Now, I don't want to blame anything on the field of play, but that field looked kind of screwed up. And I think that's why Lamar just didn't have a lot of yards rushing, because I don't think he wanted to get hurt.
I'll say this too. Arizona played on the same field.
I mean, that's their home field. They should know how to play on it.
Oh, they should know how to play on the field, on the crappy field.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really a thing. It's a bad field. It's a bad field.
It is it's a home field.
But no, I'm glad you mentioned that, though, because until late in the game, Lamar had like 2 carries for 2 yards, right? And then, Gus had, I believe it was like 18 carries, something like that. Justice had 7 or 8, somewhere around that. I mean, I'm sure I'm off on the numbers, but right. That's how it should be, right? Because on that, I believe it was a 3rd down play.
All right.
Lamar pulled the ball and they were not ready, right? He got the 1st down basically untouched, almost untouched, and he could have just laid down and not taken another hit at that point. But that's how the offense should be running, because they should not be expecting your quarterback to run constantly, right? But the thing is, you have to have a really solid running game with your O-line and your running backs to be able to do that. And Baltimore does not have that, which is why they run Lamar so much and why they've been calling teams about getting a running back in there. But it should look more like it looked today. He shouldn't have 50, 60, 70 yards rushing every week.
Facts. 9, 10 plus carries.
Yeah.
Now, all right, to add to those trade inquiries, Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. We can add to this wide receiver room, because apparently outside of Zay Flowers, the rest of them ain't it.
What up, Cam?
What's going on? Odell Beckham, we paid him $14 million too much. Nelson Aguilar was a decent signing, but I think that we kind of depend on him a little bit too much. I do want to say, you know what? Props out to Rashad Bateman. A lot of people were killing him in coach's comments, doing coach's live stream, but he played hard and he saved Lamar from a touchdown. I mean, from an interception. Like, his hustle and play on that one play to snatch the ball out the guy's hands. It may be a confidence issue. He just may not just be where he was physically, but I do think that Bateman is trying to get it done. Unfortunately, though, for me, this is not championship level play. Like, he's just not at a point where we thought he should have been. And this is the issue that I have with a lot of EDC's picks. A lot of y'all are going to say, hey, because I've seen y'all recently on Twitter talking about the 2020 draft was a hit. 3 out of 10 players isn't really a hit. And for me, I don't need guys to take 3 and 4 years to develop. If you're a 1st, 2nd round pick, I need you to come around year 1, year 2. I don't need you to wait till later in your career. Unfortunately, Bateman hasn't reached that level yet. But I think that if we trade for a Courtland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy, that would help this team out tremendously.
And Jay, they had an okay run game today. They had 130 yards rushing. The Cardinals give up 130 yards on average. All right, that's why I'm saying, don't get excited about what you saw from Gus Edwards. You're playing a garbage run defense.
Mucho gusto. Listen, Chris. So listen, this is the problem I have. I have 2 problems with Ravens fans. 2 problems. One, and this really, really grinds my gears. It's especially after watching the Detroit Lions live stream. Like there are people live streaming. I promise you, for 40 minutes straight, all I heard was the refs cheating. It's holding. The refs is taking the game away from us. And I'm getting sick and tired of hearing Ravens fans always crying about the refs. But when the Ravens get good calls, y'all shut your mouths. Y'all keep shut. Like y'all don't say a damn thing. My thing is keep it fair both ways. Stop talking about the refs at all. I don't talk about the refs at all anymore because I'm getting sick and tired of it. But more importantly, I get sick and tired of hearing, and this is not a shot at you, Chris. Odell will be fine come week 10. Y'all told this to me in week 1. Hey, we didn't have a preseason together. It's only week 1. Then y'all said, hey guys, it's only week 3. We need time to gel. Then y'all said, hey man, it's only week 5. We need to get it together. It's week 8 now. How many more weeks do you think we have in a season for these players to get it together? Like we're trying to make a championship run right now. And to do that, we need cohesion and we need to build off of that. We don't need this piece coming along now, this piece coming along here. Oh, they regressed. I'm coming up now. We need this team to gel together because the NFL as a whole right now, to me personally, is very weak. The teams that shouldn't be losing certain games, the certain teams, they're losing and they're vulnerable. And I think this is the time and opportunity for us to take advantage of it, but we're not doing it.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
I'm sorry.
No. I mean, look, you can't keep pushing back the date on Odell. He's healthy, right? He's just got to produce at some point. He has to,
right?
If you really want to get where you want to go, he has to produce. And listen, trading for a wide receiver does not. This is my problem with Ravens fans. Okay, my problem. Since you say your problem, my problem. Trading for a wide receiver does not stop Odell from getting into form. You play a bunch of wide receivers. What are you talking about? Like they can all play. If you go and you trade for Jerry Jeudy or you trade for Cortland Sutton or you trade for T Higgins, whoever it is, Odell's still gonna play. And having a good wide receiver on the opposite side is only gonna help. It's not a listen, no. Don't bring in anybody else that might stunt his growth. And just wait and see, blah blah blah. Look, Rashad Bateman, he's sitting there, he was upset about them wide receivers that came in, right? He was not happy about the way that the team was talking about the wide receiver room and how they had performed. How many of you would want to give back Zay Flowers to spare Rashad Bateman's feelings?
None.
Anybody raising their hand? No?
No.
Okay, so if you bring in a good wide receiver and Odell can't get it together, oh well.
Facts. And that brings me to my next person. And this is somebody, B, that we told the people over the course of the offseason, hey, we know that you signed Odell Beckham, but why not sign DeAndre Hopkins? Like, what is it going to hurt you to bring in 2 good wide receivers? Well, they're going to take touches away from Rashad Bateman. Y'all hate Rashad Bateman now. So what difference would it make? And DeAndre Hopkins had 130-something yards, 160 yards a day?
160 and 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. When is the last time you seen the Baltimore Ravens wide receiver have 160-something yards? I don't know.
But Gus had 3 touchdowns today.
I don't even know if Odell has 160
so all's well.
yards a year.
All is well, because I don't know if you know, but the bus left the station today.
You gonna stop making? Listen. You gonna stop making fun of my man? You gonna stop making fun of my man?
I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of his fans.
But I mean, I'm a fan of buses. I'm a fan of Gus Bus.
I'm making fun of you then.
Danny says not me.
Oh.
So, but once again,
no, Hendo, no.
What happened?
No. I just looked. And I had to check to be sure. DeAndre, okay, no, my bad. DeAndre didn't have as many yards as I thought. I thought it was 160 something. It was 128 that DeAndre had, which is good because Odell has 162 for the season.
The $15 million man, huh?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All that we thought that he was going to be, he is not. And listen, you can never have too much talent, because if you have enough talent, we don't go 3 and outs. We don't have drives that go 30 yards. We go to full 60, 70, 80 yards, and everybody's going to eat. If you can make a play, you're going to play. This alleviates us from having to keep Devin Duvernay on the squad. I know some of y'all are Devin Duvernay fans.
You just be hating Devin Duvernay, yo. Like,
Bruh,
nobody was even talking about this dude.
Listen, I know.
That you know what's funny? That was your number one receiver last year, according to some people. He don't even get on the field on offense.
Listen, Devin Duvernay, to me, I don't have anything against the guy, but my thing is this: you're our number 5 wide receiver, number 6 option in the pass game, and they're phasing out the part of the game that made you special. Like the part of the game that made you an all-pro, they're phasing it out. And
you
coach says,
a lot against Devin Duvernay.
I don't got nothing against him. And even coach has said, yo, he's a faster James Prochet. He's the fastest James Prochet. I'm paying you $4 million, bro. I don't need you running out of bounds for punts. Get them damn yards. Do something. So my thing is this. Now I don't have to put Devin Duvernay on the field in certain packages. I can actually have talent out there. And to your point, Brady, last week, if we didn't throw that little 80-yard, 2.5-minute screen pass to Gus Edwards and had somebody in there that could actually run, it might have been a touchdown. Listen, Duve is bad. Now, I'm not saying Duve is bad, but I just think for $4 million, we're not getting what we need from him. They're eliminating kickoffs from the game. He's not really that good in punt returns. After his injury, he slowed down, and he seems to be a little bit timid. So my thing is just we wasted $4 million, and then we wasted $15 million with OBJ, and we could have given DeAndre Hopkins that 2-year, $22 million contract, $24 million contract, which is at $12 million per year. So he's making less money per year, but producing more.
I'll tell you what, Agnes, who says these men come here and do better with that front line. Fair point. Why don't we find out though? Why don't we say, hey, let's get the better running back and see how they do? Not, well, our running backs aren't very good, but it could be anything. So let's not do anything about it. You know, I mean, and that way. Right. If you do bring in a much better running back like a Derrick Henry, and please, no one try to argue that he's not much better than Gus Edwards. Please, we don't even want to go down that route. But let's say you do bring him in, and he does struggle behind that front line. Well, now guess what? Now you know exactly what you need to do this offseason because you've eliminated one of the possible concerns. Now you just know that you need to fix your O-line.
And I agree.
Not great.
Good, Agnes. Don't listen to Brodney. I agree with you. Gus is a great backup.
Hit me real quick and let me know how many 1,000-yard seasons Gus Edwards has.
I said he's a great backup.
Oh, I'm talking to Agnes. I know. I know what you're doing right now.
All right, now that's fine. Now listen. Trade wise,
great running back signed for $3 million to be a backup.
Listen, trade wise, I do believe that we need to predominantly focus, if we do make a trade, on the offensive side. But if we do make trades defensively, because today we got exposed a little bit. Like, as great as we thought that this defense was, there were some cracks in it. I mean, we still have the number 2 scoring. I think what is the number 1 scoring defense, number 2 in yardage. Like, we have one of the better defenses. But I do think that if we trade for this man right here, Danielle Hunter, which we should have done 2 years ago, a gentleman that leads the league in sacks, I think, and he's still pretty young. I think he will take our defense to a whole nother level. I know we don't need anything defensively, but if it is available along with an offensive player, I think this is something that we should do. How about you, B?
Well, I'm going to refer to my previous comments and say they need to go for a wide receiver and running back, but I would not have any problem at all with them bringing in a player like Danielle Hunter, because again, like he is an elite talent, and the more of that you get on your roster, the better it is for you, right? Because we could sit back and say, and you know what? No, in fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna put my Ravens fan hat on right now. I'm gonna sit back and say, you don't need to get Danielle Hunter. Look, Oweh played well, Oweh always coming around. Ojabo's going to be back, right? Kyle Van Noy has been really good considering his ave,
right?
So you don't need to go out and get any more talent. You can just sit back and wait for these guys. Yeah, Davon. You don't need Aaron Donald. You got Michael Pierce, right? So just leave that alone. You don't need Pat Surtain. The gaggle of misfits at corner has been performing really well. You don't need talent there.
Gaggle. Whoa. Listen, Speaking of
Every goddamn year with Ravens fans, man.
speaking of the island of misfit toys, sometimes you look at an organization and say, "Hey, they have a player that just doesn't belong with them. They just seem to be a Raven. They would fit perfectly over here." So the one trade outside of offense, let me make this clear, outside of the offense that I do think that the Ravens should make, that everybody's been waiting on, and everybody knows this gentleman should be a Raven.
Don't even fucking God damn it. Why do I come here?
Brian
Why
Burns.
do I come here every
Brian Burns
No, man.
should be a Raven. Listen.
You remember what I told you earlier about hiring someone?
Uh-huh.
If they trade for Brian Burns, that's happening every week. Right? No, like Brian Burns ain't going nowhere because nobody's going to be willing to pay for Brian Burns, in terms of the draft picks, and then pay him in terms of the contract. Now, look, Brian Burns is a great player.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to stay in Carolina since they turned down 2 first-round picks.
All right.
But if he ended up in Baltimore, I'd be very happy for him. He deserves to be. I mean, they're not really a better organization; they just have that rep. But they're a better team, right? And he deserves that. He deserves a chance to play in meaningful games. He doesn't really get that in Carolina. So if you're willing to part with a first plus, whatever else. Oh, okay, Ali.
Okay, the Ravens are good without Brian Burns, but they're better with him.
Okay,
I'm not understanding that.
Man, that's fine. They're good without Derrick Henry too. Do you want to be good? You want to be great?
Facts. But we're fine with being good. We're fine with doing just enough.
Yeah, you want to be good. You want to be champions. I
want to be champion by all means necessary. Shout out to Brandon Buck. Over and over again. So much. Your thoughts on the official moving of the ball back half a yard? Social media lost their ish.
Is he's talking about in the
Arizona Baltimore game when he spotted the fourth down?
Yeah, and they moved it back a little bit to where he was down.
Right.
I mean, I think they were doing their job.
Listen, you're right. He was short. He was short of the line to gain. Which is happening with what first? He was short of the line to gain.
Yeah, you went. Your feed did not go well while you were reading that message. I thought it was me for a minute, but thank you for confirming, Ferris.
It's the ghost that lives in my house.
Yeah.
But yes, they did their job. I think that the only thing that happened was they didn't give a proper explanation and say something like, just went on and like, hey, we mistakenly put the ball in the wrong spot and we just moved it back. They just said, you know what? The hell with y'all people. You're going to lose anyway. Move the ball back.
They don't need to give a proper explanation. Everybody knows what happens when you spot the ball. You spot the ball where it was down. You don't need to get on a mic and explain that to these idiots.
Yeah, for real. Agnes says, how many more games till the bye? Week 13. Week 13. So week 13, we finally get our bye, which was the Ravens' choice. So that's on them. Ravenslock said, Raven fans just want to sneak in the playoffs and hope for a miracle. So we're still missing pieces. Facts, especially on the offensive line. Like they really honestly just don't know. Some people just don't know what good football is because they only watch one organization and think that every move that they make is the right move. And that's just not the case. Like, I love my Ravens and I love the success that we've had over the years, but we could do a lot better in a lot of areas. And we just
Ali, why would you want to see what the rookie undrafted running back can do as opposed to the guy who's been one of the best running backs in the league for the past 5 years? Why? You just like surprises? Is that what it is? or are you looking for someone to be like to actually improve the team? Because again, and I'm going to point this out again, just like I did with Odell Beckham, Derrick Henry being on the team does not prevent you from seeing what Keaton Mitchell can do. He can still get the ball. Like, what do we?
Listen, you can only play one name play at a time. And listen, and I agree with you, Brodney. Just because you have one person on your roster doesn't mean you can't play somebody else. One person's not going to play 100% of the snaps.
I'll give you a perfect example. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No. I was going to say I'll give you a perfect example. There's this dude named Tajay Spears who plays with Derrick Henry right now.
Facts.
And gets touches and produces. Facts. There's nothing preventing that.
Facts. But more importantly, why is it that we always want to rely so heavily on undrafted free agents? that we think that they're going to make such a difference on his team. Y'all said the same thing with Shamar Bridges, Makai Polk. What happened to those guys? Keaton Mitchell, and listen, for you to, and I like Keaton Mitchell and I want him to succeed in this league, but for you to put such trust and such responsibility and burden on the shoulders of a rookie, undrafted free agent who got hurt after his first play. His first play, he got hurt.
And then missed
the next game. But this is the person that you want to put your hope and trust into. I don't understand that. Like, my thing is, this is why we said go get DeAndre Hopkins, just in case Odell got hurt, just in case Bateman wasn't ready. This is why you get Derrick Henry. Keaton Mitchell can still play. We could play Justice Hill less for all I care. It doesn't. I would take Henry Mitchell 1-2 punch, and then bring some Gus in. Like, I'll take that. But my thing is,
Justice Hill hate is really front and center right now.
He gotta learn how to protect the ball. I'm like John Harbaugh. If you can't protect the ball, you can't play.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right.
Do you hear how much you hate Justice Hill?
I like Justice Hill.
Compared yourself to John Harbaugh.
No, I didn't compare myself. I just said
you said I am like John Harbaugh. That's what you just said. Those are the words that came out your mouth.
Let me open the time stone again and rewind this. I didn't say that.
That's exactly what you just said.
Okay, B. Fine. All right, listen.
Goddamn shame.
66 people in here. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe, like, share this content if you like what we're doing here. Also, join the Patreon if you want to also help support my channel. We got some fun things going on. We got fantasy football. We got Pick'em League. We got extras that you will enjoy. So just go to patreon.com/RouG. Check out all the things we have. Now, B, one thing I wanted to talk about today is something personal. Do y'all mind if I get personal? Because I want to get personal.
Okay.
Is it cool? I don't want to make anybody sad, though.
It depends on where you're going with that. I don't know. That's fine. No, it's your show, man. Do what you want.
I know it's our show. It's the community show. It's the people show. All right. So to get a little bit personal, yesterday was my anniversary.
What? Happy anniversary, man.
Yeah, I
didn't even say nothing in the Discord or anything, man.
I mean, because I don't like to bring attention to it. It's not like a. Well, I mean, it's a celebration anniversary. So yesterday, on October 28th, October has always been a very special month to me, especially dealing with the NFL. October has always been Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And apparently they stopped it this year because they'd be like, hey, we need to be aware of cancer every month. But on October 28th, 2003, 20 years ago from yesterday, that was the day that I had a tumor removed from my colon. So it is my 20-year cancer-free anniversary date. And yeah, I never thought that I would be here doing all of this. I didn't know 20 years ago if I would still be alive in 20 years. But through the powers that be, through all of the love and support of my friends and my family, and just, I can't say healthy eating because I didn't always eat healthy. And I think that's what got me into that situation. But just through all of everything that's going on in the universe, bringing me to this moment right here, right now, I just wanted to share that with y'all. And thank you for all the love and support that y'all give me. Really do appreciate
that. That's incredible, man. And especially, they say like 20 years ago, you know, when you were like 45, to be like, I don't know where I'm going to be in 20 years. But then you're here and looking spry. That's an amazing thing. I'm glad you shared that with us. I thought you were talking about a different anniversary, but this is a good one too.
It is.
Happy anniversary, Hendo.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
I don't
want no pity. I don't want no pity though. I don't want nobody pitying me like, oh, you poor baby.
You know, 65 is a good long life, man. I don't know what kind of pity you were looking for here. Like
I'm not 65, sir.
Are you not?
I'm not even close to my 60s, B.
67?
Not close to my 60s, B. I don't. Who do I look like? Dre?
59.
I'm not in my 50s, B.
My bad. I mean,
I'm in my late 30s. I'm in my late 30s.
Okay.
All right, let's get back to this.
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah, let's get back to this Ravens action. All right, B. Let me know who you have for your offensive player of the game.
Offensive player of the game is going to be Gus. He had 3 touchdowns on that vaunted Cardinals defense. So, somebody hit the like button. I think maybe.
What that mean?
I don't know. There was a thumbs up there.
Where?
Oh, look at Agnes talking about nobody. They scored 31 points. She out here talking about nobody. Gus is great. He had 3 touchdowns talking about nobody. Damn, Agnes.
Agnes.
I'm gonna go Gus.
And they call me the hater.
Right. That's messed up.
Okay.
Jay, I know you don't believe that lie, Jay. Come on, man.
Why would y'all my peoples? Why would I lie to y'all? I am in my late 30s. Plus something.
The latest 30s. I think could possibly be.
The new 30s.
You're using that new math on that.
The new math on that. Andy. Yeah, offensive player of the game, I have to go with Gus Edwards. He had his 19 rushes for 80 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hey, Gus did his thing today. Shout out to him.
Sure did.
I appreciate all that he does. All right, B, let me get your defense player of the game, sir.
Defensive player of the game. I'll tell you one thing. The announcer was pushing hard for Michael Pierce to win this award. But I think I'm going to go with Geno Stone getting his 5th interception of the season, even though he robbed it a little bit. He robbed it a little bit from his teammate. That's all right, though. Listen. When you chasing history, sometimes that's what you got to do. He's the second Raven to have 5 interceptions through the first half of the season. The first being Ed Reed. So, I mean, listen. If you want to fix those defensive issues, or even the offensive issues, you want to get a wide receiver, you want to get a running back, you want to get yourself a difference maker at edge. Put Marcus Williams on the block because y'all need him.
That's a story for another time. But I'm gonna have to agree. Listen, all of the talking heads out there that has said, "Hey, Ronnie Stanley's taking all his money. Ronnie Stanley hasn't been healthy. We need to trade him." Nothing's been said about Marcus Williams, and I think that we have a replacement in Geno Stone for Marcus Williams that actually is producing when he's not on the field. Unlike the things that we have behind Ronnie Stanley. They don't produce. So yeah, that $70 million that I at one time thought was well spent has been wasted money because that man just can't seem to be healthy. He's in one game, he's out the next. So yeah, I mean, I can see Geno Stone being your defensive player of the game, but unfortunately for me,
wow.
What?
No.
I had to pick
Michael
Pierce. He had 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. He also collapsed the pocket. Like he got penetration on a lot of the plays and set things up for other people. So I know I said that he probably would be hurt by week 5.
I know, man. I know that must have been hard for you to put that little thumbnail together there.
Why? And it did.
You hate Michael Pierce.
I don't. Here's the thing. Just because I haven't listen, I just go back to history. This year he gets hurt by week 4. This year he gets hurt by week 5. This year he gets hurt by week 3. I'm just going off of history. It has nothing to do with hate. Why do I want my productive play? Why do I want any player on my team to be hurt or suck? I want them all to progress and do well.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But you do in fact hate Michael Pierce, though.
I don't hate Michael Pierce, bro.
And just bringing it back to the rightful defensive player of the game, Geno Stone, and we were talking about Marcus Williams. That's not even a knock on EDC. Say that turned out to be wasted money. This is an example of what a good GM does because Geno Stone was a 7th round pick, right?
Fact.
And those are the kind of players that you use 7th round picks on because he's not a great athlete, but he is a high IQ player in college, right? And I believe he started all 4 years in college, and they kind of took a flyer on him. Now, yes, he went out. And he was aggressive and he spent the money to get Marcus Williams, who was one of the top safeties in the league. And
not the top, though.
One of. And he says he's that we're getting a difference maker. And I'm not even saying that hasn't worked out, but when he's hurt, you have a guy there who's developed and has been a difference maker on the defense. So I'm gonna applaud EDC on that one. I'm getting Geno Stone in there and keeping him on the roster. And having that insurance for Marcus Williams.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I feel you. All right, before we move on to the next one, we are going to get into the injuries that came out of this game because for the season, the Ravens just have seemed to have injury after injury coming out of every game. I think in this game, we came out relatively healthy, except for one injury to my understanding. I wasn't able to check the injury report afterwards, just things that I saw going before we started the stream. And the one injury that we had was Odafe Owe. His ego has been bruised. There was a play that he got. What's so funny?
No, it does.
Uh,
So
there was a
much better.
there was a play he got hurt on. I think. Did we have footage, guys? Did we have footage? Okay, we got footage of the play that Odafe Owe got hurt on. Oh man. Okay, so Odafe goes in. He's trying to tackle Low-Key, and Low-Key disappeared on him. And that's that. So
I could have sworn that was footage from a game from last year, because how many times the man going to end up face down on the ground with no one in front of him?
But did you see the way that? I'm sorry. Did you see the way he tackled the ground? Like he went limp and just went forward. Like yo, what?
Yolanda, you need the link or also?
I'm just saying, is it me or did he really think Low-Key was in front of him and Low-Key just disappeared like he do the Thor every time? Like somebody explain this. Oh no.
Oh,
It's like cartoons. I should have put the Benny Hill music behind it or something, because.
But is that how he tackles though? Like because I mean, like, we're joking, right? But obviously he was going to tackle the ball carrier, and the guy got hit. He fell, and Odafe missed him because he was just too low at that point, right? But to your point, like he did just go limp. Is that what you do? Does he get his arms around people and go boneless? And it's like, I hope he can't drag me. That's how Odafe makes the tackles. That's incredible.
So
that's incredible or not?
You saying that was a vegan tackle? Is that what you're saying? He went vegan on that tackle?
No, I was not saying that. I was not saying that he went vegan. I was saying, like a child who doesn't want to go wherever you need them to go, he went boneless, and you just gotta drag him. Oh. He's like, I hope these NFL players who do nothing but work out can drag my lifeless body down the field. But that's what it looked like he did.
But he hurt us some of that play. Oh God, that's oh my God, too much. This man got me out here crying.
I'm certain there's a valid reason for his inability to tackle.
I mean, we're trying to figure this out. Please let me know. Let's move.
Incredible, Yolanda.
It is.
You need your own show.
Yeah, you did. Or you need to co-host a show with somebody. What happened with you when it was a Ghost? Y'all supposed to be doing a show together. If I'm not mistaken.
Yolanda B. Raven.
Okay, D. B, give me.
It's a great title.
It is. I love the title. Okay, B, give me your good, the bad, and your ugly of this football game.
The good would be, I think that they got the win. It wasn't pretty, but it's y'all, whatever. Like, but they got the win, and that's fine. They didn't look past the Cardinals. I think they didn't have their best day, but they didn't look past them. The bad, I would unfortunately have to say the O-line. I thought they would be able to keep it going for a third week, but they were not able to. The ugly, this one is going to hurt to say, but the ugly is going to be a certain wide receiver's mishaps. Nelson Aguilar and him dropping the onside kick and try to keep, it was over at that point already because they had missed the 2-point conversion on the previous drive. Right. But my man looks scared. And it's just like, do you trust that won't happen in the playoffs? In a more critical moment, I know that he did come back and he caught the next onside kick, right? But you might not get the second chance later on in the season against a better team.
Facts. For me, I don't know if you stole my notes or anything, but essentially it's going to say the same thing. So to switch it up, I guess I'm going to say the good is going to have to be the fact that Lamar was not our leading rusher. They actually used a running back to lead the team in rushing today, and that takes less wear and tear on Lamar. I still do think that Lamar needs to learn how to slide a little bit.
He looked at that defender and he was like, I can't get by you, but let's give it a shot.
I'm going to do my best. The bad, I can't hide it. It has to be the offensive line. their play is just putrid, just from one week to the next. And the thing that is shocking to me is they've gone against some of the best defensive lines in the game and some of the best ends and linebackers, and they've kind of held their own. It just seems like they played down to the competition. The ugly for me is this team has no consistency from one week to the next. Like every game, you don't know what you're going to get. There was such a high when I watched the Ravens beat the Detroit Lions. Now, today, I'm still high on my team, but I'm just not thinking that they're as invincible as I thought that they once were. Coming next week, we got Seattle. It's a toss-up game to me. I don't know. It just depends on which Geno Smith shows up. Like if it's the Geno Smith that's dialed in and actually wants to play, we may be in for a fight. If it's just the everyday Geno Smith.
That is the everyday Geno Smith who
No,
shows
no,
up.
I said the locked in one.
He's locked in every day, sir. Since y'all hate Ronnie Stanley so much, how about this?
No, man.
How about you trade Ronnie Stanley?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And throw in Rashad Bateman because y'all hate him too. You trade Ronnie Stanley and Rashad Bateman to Carolina for Ekwonu.
Mm-mm.
It gives you a reset at left tackle with a top 10 pick.
Mm-mm. No.
And then you get Ronnie Stanley off the books. You get that guy out of the locker room, Rashad Bateman, who's bringing everybody down.
Uh-huh.
That's a fresh start for you.
Nope.
We will throw in Terrace Marshall.
Uh-uh.
I know that the Ravens were very high on him. He wasn't as high on the Ravens, but now guess what? Due to 3 years of poor play, he doesn't get to have those opinions anymore. So that's he's going to shut his mouth on that one, and he's just going to come in and do the work.
Mm-hmm.
Ravens fans love Terrace Marshall.
No, we can't stand it, dude. Shout out to Yolanda B for the $10 donation. She said, send a link, Hendo. I have a lot to say about the way.
I'll send the link, Yolanda.
Nah, don't send the link.
I'm going to send the link, though.
How much longer do you think we're going to be in here? It's been an hour already.
Well, I'm not going to be here much longer, but I have a feeling that you will. All right.
Yeah.
So,
all right, B. Give me your stock up and stock down from this game, please, sir.
Stock up. I'm not sure that I have a stock up because normally I would say Gus, but they out here shopping for his replacement, so I don't think we can go stock up on that. No, I don't think. Yeah, no, I don't have a stock up for this game.
Wow.
Unless no, I'm gonna give it to my man Geno Stone too.
Okay.
I think that he's making his case to be somebody's starting safety. It won't be Baltimore's. But somebody started safety with a nice contract that gives him some financial security, and that's fantastic for him.
Okay.
Stock down is going to be. I hate to say it after probably his best game, but probably Gus Edwards. If you're still out there calling about Derrick Henry, you can't really get past. No, not Gus.
Yes,
I'm joking. I'm joking about Gus. I'm joking. Stock down is the wide receiver room because they have not been able to get it together. Particularly Odell and Bateman, or particularly Bateman. Odell, I know he's out there trying. He is getting open at times. He drew 3 penalties today. Bateman, I mean, he's just not doing a whole lot of anything. And I say the wide receiver room as a whole because even Zay Flowers is averaging. I mean, he was averaging like Tyson Williams numbers yards per catch today. They got to stop forcing the ball to him every chance they get.
Okay, that's right, Daniel. Hill gets a stock down. Yeah, he does.
Why would he get a stock down?
That's because he's Justice Hill. No, I'm just kidding. That's his opinion. I mean, I think. Listen, I think Justice Hill is decent. Like, I don't have anything.
He had 55 yards today.
Right, he runs. Listen, I've
on 8 touches.
I've said this earlier this season. Like, Justice Hill runs hard. He's running better than I've ever seen. Like, I don't have anything against that young man. But for me, my stock up. Michael Pierce.
Mm-hmm. Man, it almost choked you right there.
It did. Michael Pierce, my stock up. It's like his superpower is his weight. The heavier he gets, the healthier he stays. Like, it just seems to me he's getting bigger, but he's playing a lot better than he was early in the season. So I'm gonna have to give him a stock up. My second stock up, I'm gonna give it to Bateman. Like, he may not have the crazy stats that we think that he should have, but I do think that he's working his way back into this offense. And it was at a point early in the game where he was the most consistent wide receiver that we had. We try so desperately to get Zay Flowers the ball, even when he's not open. I just think naturally Bateman gets open. We just don't always hit him. He doesn't always catch the ball, but he was a little bit more aggressive today than he normally is. So I give him a stock up on that.
Just to add some context to that, when you're saying the incredible numbers that you kind of expect, Bateman had 34 yards today, and that was his probably one of his best games of the season. He has what is this here? He has like 150 yards for the season through 7 games.
All right. Oh, so he got what?
That's where
he put out Odell Beckham numbers. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what we mean. That's who we're giving stock up to.
Listen.
But just to add some before you respond, to add a little before you respond, to add some more context to it. He has about 150 yards for the season through 7 games, right? AJ Brown has, I believe, it's 6 games of 125 yards or more consecutively. Your response. I'm sorry.
Well, the Baltimore Ravens didn't want AJ Brown. Too much talent. Like, we don't need all that talent on the team. Why do we need a bunch of talented receivers in this room? Huh? Why can't we have a star and a bunch of minions? Isn't that how the Pixar movies work?
Did you get the star yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Do you have a solid crew of minions?
We got Zay, and that's we got Zay, we got Andrews.
Okay.
Zay and Andrews. All right. And listen, I would be remiss. I forgot to write this name down, but I do want to give a stock up to Brandon Stevens. Brandon Stevens has been playing some very good ball for the season. Like, listen, he's not giving up a touchdown. I do think that he does celebrate too much when he did not affect the play. That's my only problem with Brandon Stevens. He didn't affect the play. He out there, it's me, y'all. No, son, no. Stop. Just do your job. You'll get your recognition. So I do want to give props out to Brandon Stevens for them finally letting him play one position and him flourishing at it. Should have had 2 interceptions today, but Geno Stone was like, yo, I'm trying to get this bag this offseason, so I got to do it. And I don't blame him. That's right. Despicable Me Ravens. Stock down has got to be Isaiah Likely. You start the game off with a penalty, right? You can't listen. Isn't that the reason we cut James Prochet? Because he was getting more penalties and catches? Yeah, he was getting more penalties and catches.
Is that the reason, though?
In my mind, that was the reason we got him. Yeah. John Simpson, you also get a stock down. Your play has just been terrible. But now, you know what? I take that back. I take John Simpson off the stock down list. My bad. I take him because he was never good to begin with. He should have never
had no stock.
He shouldn't. Right. He should have never been a starting left guard in this league anyway. It's on us that tried to go the cheat route with it and throw him in there. He's playing to his capabilities. Like the Las Vegas Raiders told us, yo, this guy can't play. And we was like, we don't believe you. You need more people. So I take him off because he's doing what he's doing John Simpson thing. So I take that off. But my last stock down has got to go to Ronnie Stanley / Odell Beckham Jr. Just not living up to your contracts.
You got a lot of stock downs for a win.
Listen, just because you won doesn't mean everybody played well.
No,
it's just like
it was not.
It's just like just because you criticize your team, it doesn't mean that you don't love them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, Joey, no. Well, we traded McCarroll. We're gonna put Rashad Bateman into that trade package for Brian Burns.
They should. Like, I'm joking and talking about him, but I think he would do well with the change of scenery. I think it's just in his head at this point in Baltimore. Not Brian Burns, but y'all call us up. Terrace Marshall plus a 6. Boom.
Why do we want to swap bad receivers?
I don't know. Why do you want to keep the bad receiver? I think what do you expect me to say to that? You're getting a 6th-round pick out of it.
Because we hate letting go of draft picks, especially 1st-round draft picks. Like, we don't like having them move on. We love them to fulfill out their contracts and then ball out somewhere else. It's not what the Ravens do.
Not when they show some talent. Y'all got Hollywood up out of there.
Listen, it's a lot of talent we let get up out of here. But what are you gonna do? All right, let's take a look at the AFC North watch.
Not do that. I don't know.
Yeah, you would think.
Seemed like a simple answer to me.
Yeah, you would think. No. I like Miles Sanders. He ain't it. I've seen him play with the Panthers. That dude is not it. But let's take a look at the AFC North standings. We got the
Wow.
Baltimore Ravens sitting in first place, where we rightfully should be, sitting at 6-2 with a 2-1 division record. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they got a lot. They have a lot. Did you see that game today? They got problems.
Why would I have put that game on?
I mean, if you just saw certain clips of it,
Like
listen.
I saw what happened to them in that game. I did not watch the game.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that Pittsburgh was going to lose, but when Kenny Pickett threw it to Deontay Johnson 3 times in a row, and that dude dropped all 3 passes, I said, yo, you know this dude can't catch, but if this is what you're going to do, you're going to lose. Then the 4-3 Cleveland Browns with PJ Walker. PJ Walker did his best until that tip at the end where your man Geno Smith took the ball down to take the lead and win the game. But the Browns are going to be a problem. If they can actually get Deshaun Watson to come back in and play some meaningful football, I told you at the beginning of the season, the Browns are going to be a problem. And, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sorry, they're not on the bye. Cincinnati Bengals, they defeated the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I'm not feeling like 49ers are as indestructible as they were. So that Christmas Day game versus the Ravens might not be as tough as we thought it was.
It's not going to be tough at all. I shouldn't say it. It's not. They are a very talented team, but as long as Brock Purdy is still their quarterback, you should get that.
Wait, no. Not league MVP Brock Purdy, because a couple games, like 3 games ago, he was the leader. He never lost a game. Like, he had to be the best 7th round pick in the history of the universe.
Yeah, and now he's lost 3 in a row. Had 3 more turnovers today,
didn't he?
And when my man turns it over, man, like, it is bad.
Honey bunches of O's. Like, he just can't. he just can't seem to stop. I hope so. Like, it seems more feasible now. They've lost 3 in a row, and let's see, Philadelphia. For some reason, Philadelphia struggles with Washington. I don't know what it is about the Commanders. They give them problems. The Kansas City Chiefs just lost to the Denver Broncos. It is our time. This is the year that we can put everything together and make a run for the Super Bowl. That's why we say go out and trade and get this talent. Go out and get some wide receivers that can get open, because I love football. I have certain knowledge of football. I follow other teams. I study other players. But you tell me, and I mean, Brodney, this goes for you as well. You tell me who the Arizona Cardinals have on their squad that can shut down a wide receiver.
Oh.
But apparently we couldn't throw. What superstar pass rusher do they have on their team that blows up offensive lines or defensive linemen?
They got old boy.
Zaven Collins?
I mean, first round pick, Zaven Collins.
Right.
That carries a lot of weight in Baltimore.
Right. So why do you all tell me we don't need any talent around here? Because apparently we don't have guys that can get open. We don't have guys that can make plays. I need that one guy that when Lamar gets in trouble, he can chuck that ball up and he knows that he's going to go get it. We don't have that guy. Odell is no longer that individual. And shout out to whomever that was in Coach's stream earlier that was like, yeah, trade Tyler Huntley to Minnesota. They'll want him. Why? Just because Kirk Cousins went down?
Yeah, we didn't bring that up. Kirk tore his Achilles. He's done.
Oh, they confirmed it?
That's what I saw on Twitter, that he tore his Achilles. He's out for the year. Anyway.
Listen, Kirk Cousins is a quarterback, but the dude, I think Kirk Cousins is all right dude. And I feel bad. You don't think so?
No, not at all.
Because his kids are teenagers and they still have pacifiers and
I wasn't even gonna go that route, but I was gonna go because I know who his father is. So, and that's the dude that raised him. So I don't see how he's a decent person. Yeah, maybe he beat the odds, man. Maybe he did. I don't know him well enough, but I'm gonna, based off of what I know, I'm gonna say I doubt that he's a good person.
Okay. You want to talk about Carolina getting their first win today?
Hell yes, I do.
Okay. Have at it.
It was gonna be like that. I didn't want to do it like that, but Carolina got the first win. Like I said, this is the first of 3. They beat Houston. They beat them. It's unfortunate because they beat them with a really ugly scoreline, 15-13, and that might lead you to believe that they did not score a touchdown, but they did.
They did.
Did in fact score a touchdown. They just missed the extra point, and then and then kicked 3 more field goals. Listen, Bryce Young is that guy. Okay, he went 22 for 31, 235 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions today. Played well. He got sacked 6 times because they cannot protect dude. And a decent number of those incompletions were just straight up drops. Because Jonathan Mingo, despite what coach told me, cannot play. Now, maybe he's a late bloomer,
right?
But that dude is not it so far. They got to fix their O-line, and they have to. I'm very concerned because I've a few weeks ago it was we're making a move. We're gonna go out. We're being very aggressive to get our number 1 wide receiver. And now that the deadline's coming up, it's getting real quiet. It's like Marvel with Thor. The sun's getting low.
Sun's getting real low.
Seems like nothing's happening. So I'm a little worried about that. But they have to get some talent around Bryce Young. You cannot expect him to do it by himself.
Right.
You out here slandering Miles Sanders. And a good portion of the Panthers fan base was as well. Talking about how well Chuba Hubbard played. In comparison, Chuba Hubbard had 15 carries for 28 yards today. It's the O-line.
Right.
They can't block. So, but it was a good win. It was a good win over Houston. I know they're a bit up and down. They're 3-4. They're very, very young. But, they had been playing well. They've got some talent over there. So it was nice to see Carolina come out and get that victory. And hopefully carry it forward next week when they've got the Indianapolis Colts, who will not be starting their rookie quarterback who is out for the season.
Yeah, they make a better team with Gardner Minshew.
They're not a better team with Gardner Minshew. And if they can't beat the Colts with Gardner Minshew, then I'll be really sad. You're only saying that because Baltimore
Can they beat the Colts with Gardner Minshew? No, because Jonathan Taylor's back.
I know Jonathan Taylor's back, and it's upsetting. But it's still Gardner Minshew. It's still Gardner Minshew, so I'm keeping the faith. That's going to be win number 2 next week.
Indeed. All right. We've been here an hour and 17 minutes. We still have 56 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are new here. And return, share this content. Help us to grow. We have some goals here, people. We have some goals here. I'm trying to hit 3,200 subscribers by the end of the week. I think I'm 11 away.
You should be able to get that today.
I should be able to get that today. But, I don't want to put too much pressure on anybody. But listen, goals. By the end of the football season, I would like to hit 4,000 subscribers. Like, I'm trying to get up there. I'm trying to hit that 10,000 mark. I'm trying to be that guy to hit that 10,000 so I can sit back and you be like, yes, people actually like me. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, do all of those cool things. Rodney.
That is quite the beast of an ego you got there. You got over 3,000 subs. You don't think that people like you? Jay, you can't say that he's going to die and you feel like you're watching Joe Burrow's rookie season all over again. Joe Burrow came back and went to the Super Bowl after that, man.
Facts. He did.
He's going to be fine.
Facts. Now, also, Rodney, you have some goals.
Do I?
At your channel, yes?
Oh, yeah. At our channel, we have goals. You were talking about me. I was my only goal is to stream less. Save New York.
Stream less and make more.
Those are the goals. I gotta hop back on there and save New York from Venom and Kraven the Hunter.
Right.
Maybe save Alan Wake. I don't know. That might be a little too scary. Alan might be on his own. But yeah, over on Lunch Break Hot Take, I forget where we actually set the goal. We would
2,000.
like to hit 2,000 by the end of the year.
Football year. Thank you.
And then obviously we are also shooting for 5,000. But we haven't set a date on that one yet. We like to take the small steps towards the big goal. But if you are not subscribed, head over to Lunch Break Hot Take, hit that subscribe button, help us hit that goal of 2,000 subs before the end of the season. We are currently a little over 1,600, so we got a little longer to go than Hendo's goal, but I believe we can do it.
Indeed, they have better content, of course.
I don't think that's the case at all.
Of course, you can do it. I think so. All right, before we get out of here, one last thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, what was it?
Jay,
One la-
is it good, man? You're talking about Alan Wake. Is it great? Should I get it?
Is it?
I
I
don't know
don't know.
why I asked. Like he's not going to be able to respond immediately.
Yeah,
That's poor form on my part. I'm sorry, Jay.
All right, one last tackle before we get up out of here. Lamar not top 10. There was an ESPN ranking system, and they kind of said that Lamar was not a top 10 quarterback. Like even after the game last week, they said yes, he did well, he was amazing, but I think this was a 1 week occurrence. Now that got me back to thinking about your man Stephen A. Smith and what's the guy?
Man.
Shannon Sharp, when they said, is Lamar Jackson worth the money from his contract? And then they
Stephen A. doesn't even know where that debate came from.
he don't, even though it was his own words. And I just wanted to talk about when they asked, is he worth his contract? And yet still other quarterbacks aren't. So there was just some information that I dug up, in conjunction with this. This is before this week's games. And I went back and I looked and I said, okay, so Lamar Jackson right now, as it currently stands, is the fourth highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And his stats up until the game before this one, he's 142 for two out of 200, 1,600 yards, 610 yards, 8 touchdowns passing, 3 interceptions, 360 yards rushing, 5-2 in the AFC, first in the AFC North, right?
Hey, I'm sorry. Did he have the same number of rushing touchdowns as Gus? That MVP worthy right there, because Gus is great. I don't know how he managed to pull that off, but that's incredible if true.
It is true. But if you look at his contemporaries, which will bring up the third highest quarterback in the NFL prior to this week, we have Justin Herbert, who's 142, 212, same number of completions, more passing attempts, 1,592 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 80 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and he's currently 2-4, which is third in the AFC West. Nobody's asking, is Justin Herbert worth this money? What they're saying is, oh, his weapons are hurt. He doesn't have all of the components around him that he needs to succeed in the NFL. But to me, I thought he was supposed to be the prototypical NFL quarterback. Like he has the side, the speed, the look. He has the arm. Like he's just everything. He has the third highest salary on yearly average, but his stats are less than Lamar's. I don't hear anyone bringing it up. Now, the second quarterback is Joe Burrow. Prior to this week, he's 147 out of 232, 1,230 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 14 yards rushing.
I misread that. At first, I thought it was 14 rushing touchdowns. It was just barely over a first yard.
No, it's 14.
First down.
Yards, right. Right. 14 yards rushing, 3-3 record, fourth in the AFC. So my thing to you is, Brodney, is why do you think that these quarterbacks aren't getting the same vitriol, the same venom that Lamar's getting, even though they make more money than him? Their stats are less, and their placement within the NFL is a lot lower.
Because Stephen A is an asshole, and Shannon Sharp is upset that Lamar doesn't like him.
Gotcha. I mean, that's all.
And then there is also the fact that there's always been a lot more criticism towards black quarterbacks than there are white quarterbacks. I mean, just look at Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford was the number 1 overall pick, accomplished nothing for a decade, and then was traded to the Rams and won the Super Bowl, and it's like the Detroit thing didn't even happen, right? But it is what it is. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. I did want to pivot just for a moment, if I could, to maybe a more important issue. But you let me know. I shouldn't even say an issue, but there's a topic. I wanted to say shout out to Gus Edwards, who did finally take the lead in rushing on his own team this week. And I wanted to just pose the question: Is Gus living up to his contract, having just secured the rushing lead for the Baltimore Ravens in Week 8? Still working on them touchdowns though, but he put in that work this week. He tied it up.
He can't help it. He can't help it. John Harbaugh doesn't put him in the game.
He has more carries than Lamar.
Oh, I would hope so. I would hope my running back.
No, I would hope so too. But I'm just saying it's not an excuse because he carries the ball more than Lamar does.
He's not as dynamic, noisy, as fast as Lamar. So
okay. Now look, I don't know. I don't think today is going to help it because he
Right.
did average like just right at 4 yards per carry.
He's under 4 yards a
He,
rush for the
no,
year.
no, no. He's at 4. He's at 4.
Oh, okay.
But that does put him in 5th on the team. So again, I want to pose the question to you:
Okay.
Is Gus Edwards living up to his contract?
He is.
Is he?
Yes. Yes.
Is he?
Listen, he was getting like $2.5 million. Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Devin Duvernay is getting $4 million to run out of bounds.
Okay. Just wondering, how much is Justice Hill getting?
The same amount like Gus, approximately.
Because he's averaging 4.8 yards a carry.
And he's averaging fumble per fumble after fumble.
Yeah. See, we got to sacrifice some things, but he's also got 3 touchdowns on half the carries.
Okay.
So,
And more fumbles.
Just wondering.
More turnovers.
Maybe it's because he's trying to do too much because you don't give him the ball, even though he's clearly more talented.
All right, Brownie, let the people know what you got going on.
Keaton Mitchell averaging 9 yards a carry. You can find me.
Offense 1 carry.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. 9 yards of reception because it wasn't even a carry. You can find me over on Lunch Break Hot Take every Wednesday evening at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We do the LBHT show. We follow that up with the overtime show for our patrons. You can also find me on Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time over on Sip to Tally Films for the Ravens Roundup with Hendo, with Chris from Chris Just Joking from the Deep Cover Pod, with my brother Jose, with OTR Mike, and of course with Coach Evans because it is his channel and we can't do the show without him. You can also find me over on Suge Knight 323 on Tuesday nights at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time with Suge Knight. We do the Steel Conspiracy, and there's a little surprise.
What? You got a surprise?
Somebody's coming back.
Colin's coming back. Colin's coming back to the show.
Hendo's coming back. So we're gonna get the band back together over there. That's Tuesdays at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:15 p.m. Pacific. Because the name doesn't make sense if Hendo's not there, because I am in fact not a Ravens fan.
You are. So. You're on 2 Ravens shows. What do you mean? I'm sorry, 3. You're on 3 Ravens shows. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Which 3 Ravens shows am I on?
4. I'm sorry.
What? Why is it okay? One, why does it keep going up? Second, what are these shows?
Lunch Break Hot Take.
Not a Raven show.
Ravens Roundup.
That one is. I can't lie about that.
Steel Conspiracy.
Not a Raven show.
Rougpod.
Not on that show.
You're on more Ravens podcasts than I am.
Not on that show. This is not my show.
I know, it's a shame. I
tried to send you the link, Yolanda, but I don't know your name in Discord.
Yolanda.
And it's not Yolanda, so like I started typing in Yolanda and it didn't come up. So
yeah, you know what? I do think we need to add OBJ in there. Like he needs his part here because he's been derailed as well. So yeah. I think we'll find somewhere. We'll put him right in that middle card.
Wow.
Yeah. Incredible. Yeah. I don't know. Why do my overlays just keep clicking off by themselves? StreamYard is the worst. I might have to.
Who was really sad people getting on the train?
The people that Yolanda, whomever else thought that those dudes are actually going to do good work. I don't know.
All the people who thought Ojabo was a top 15 pick.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, he's a top 15 pick. What do you mean how we treat you? What does that mean? I thought he was I thought he was sending you the link because he said I'm gonna send you the link.
I just told you I tried to send you the link, but I don't know your name in Discord, so I couldn't send it. It's not my fault that you try to be anonymous on the internet.
Jeremy, why is the train in snow? Because winter is coming.
Why do you
winter is coming?
Random ass questions, Jeremy. How about that?
Tell him
it's in snow because that's what the picture is, Jeremy.
I mean,
right?
He's a very inquisitive individual.
God damn it.
He's not a damn rookie.
He is not a rookie. This is my least favorite thing about this entire area, because they did this garbage with Kirk Cousins too. He was in like his 4th year. They're like, oh, he's basically a rookie. No, man, your rookie season is the first year. That's it. Right. That's it. Even if you don't play, even if you don't play, you're not basically a rookie the next time. You got NFL coaching, you got the NFL training, all that. You're not a rookie anymore. That's not how that works.
It's not.
It's
All right,
just
look.
the first year.
Listen, since we have so much of a misunderstanding, how about we get a stream with Yolanda tomorrow? Does that sound like a plan?
Well,
Would
when
that
are you
work?
going to stream with Yolanda tomorrow? Because you have a show tomorrow.
That's at night. That's 9:00.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had stuff to do during the day.
That day.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. But I mean, I would take the time because I don't think it would be that long. I think it would be like 15, 20 minutes long. If Yolanda wants to come and discuss that play or just his play in general, because he actually whiffed on a couple other sacks. So I mean, but this time he just didn't froze and fell to the ground.
It was like GTA.
It was
When you die at GTA and you just go limp, it does the ragdoll physics. You die. That when he missed the tackle, he was like, "Oh,
ooh, you know what? I think I need to do something with some GTA background." It put OA died. Yeah, that way. But anyway, listen, guys, appreciate y'all for hanging out with us for the last hour and a half. You can find me, like he said, tomorrow on Coaches Evans' channel, Sip the Tally, during the Ravens Roundtable at 9 p.m. Also Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me over at Electric Relaxation with my man, Mr. Galloway, talking all things hip hop, especially old school. I don't know if we have an interview going on.
Reg, he played last year. What are you talking about? No, he's not a rookie.
He's not a rookie. I don't know if we have anything going on special this week.
Any part of him.
But make sure you tune in the week after. Is it the week after?
Yeah. What?
On Electric Relaxation, where we have two special guests. Is that 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now?
I don't know. Your man sent me the link already, so
it's 2 weeks from now. Huh? 15th?
November 14th.
14th? All right. So 2 weeks from Tuesday, we will have two special guests on the show. I think it's going to be a very dope episode. So make sure you go over to Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway. Subscribe. Come check us out. Check out everything that all the fellas have to bring you. We just try to bring you content nonstop throughout the week. Show you guys some love and just, make people happy. Like, I think some of y'all take this a little too personal. We just give our opinion on certain topics and we don't mean anything by it. Oh, the ghost. The ghost. He's telling me to get off.
All right.
I'm cool, bro. I'm about to go watch some football.
Yolanda ain't serious.
She ain't serious about it. She know what her calendar look like. Since she ain't serious, we ain't serious. But
like, I would have said, we'll do an extra half hour right now. But Yolanda ain't serious.
I told you she ain't serious.
She ain't serious.
I can do an extra half hour whatever you want to. But listen, may see you tomorrow afternoon. May not see you tomorrow afternoon. May see you tomorrow morning. I don't know. If there's something for me to talk about, I may come back. I don't know if Bradley's gonna be here though, but
no, he ain't.
Okay, I'll be solo.
You ain't serious, Yolanda.
You ain't serious.
When I said I don't have your name, you didn't reply with your name and say send me the link.
Facts.
You said I'll check my calendar. That's what you said.
Facts. We listen. Hashtag no 2 hours. We about to go right now. I'm not even gonna say my saying. Brian, you got any parting words before we out of this piece?
Y'all need better than Gus. Stop with the